Hey everybody, my name is Dustin Schmidt. I'm your Frigid Fox race director. Here's a brief edited down version of our athlete briefing that would take place today on December 13th. So each one of you will be receiving a athlete guide in your email. Anybody who is registered will be receiving that, and it'll have a lot of these details and more in that athlete guide. But we're just going to go over a few of them that are really important. First off is your starting line. Your starting line will be at the Mothie Lake Recreation Area. The exact GPS coordinates are available in that athlete guide. It's kind of that roundabout as you enter in the park and you head down in towards the water. So keep that in mind. Your packet pickup will be, if you're looking at that starting line, will be just to the right of that. There'll be a jungle gym area and a little bit of an open field. You'll see the pavilion. That's where the packet pickup will be. We'll have packet pickup at 2 separate times. Friday, packet pickup will be available from 3 until 5. At 5 p.m., we will be shutting that down on Friday, so if you intend to get there Friday evening, make sure that you're there before 5 o'clock. Saturday morning packet pickup will be 1 hour. It'll be from 7:30 until 8:30. We are cutting off packet pickup at 8:30, and that's just to make sure that everybody's ready to go. They have all of their food, all of their water filled. We're all able to get to the start line to allow me to, about 5 minutes till 9, just give a quick thank you before we send everybody off. A few things to keep in mind as you're coming into the park. You will go through kind of a guard shack, I will call it. Mothie Lake is a recreation area. Therefore, we do need to have Wisconsin State Park admission. So I encourage you to maybe buy that admission before. You can do so online with a credit card. You can do day passes. You can do the whole annual pass, which I would encourage you to do to help support the wonderful systems. But just keep that in mind. Any of the recreation areas will require those state park admission stickers and or passes. So as you enter that guard shack, your drop bags will be there on the right. That's where the Mothie Lake aid station will be. So as you are coming back from the north out and back, heading to that final south out and back, the Mothie Lake aid station will have your drop bags there. Please keep in mind, please label those drop bags with not just your name, but your bib number. I encourage you to do so that if for some reason you forget it or somebody accidentally takes it, we have a way to get all of those items back to you. Last year we had a couple of them come up and it was real smooth. We got them shipped back to everybody and it wasn't an issue at all. The race starts at 9 a.m. sharp. And I mean sharp. It will be to the second of the timer on the race clock. So make sure you're there and make sure that you are ready. The Frigid Fox is marked, but we mark it in a pretty sparse way, I will say. Since it's on the Ice Age Trail, just keep in mind, when in doubt, look for those yellow blazes. But there will be markings at any kind of designated trail crossing, crossing area, anywhere that maybe as your mind starts to wander, as you've been out there a few hours, you could get tripped up. So just keep in mind, when in doubt, look for those blazes and look for our trail markings. We have a couple of different cutoffs to be aware of. 8 p.m. is the North Highway P cutoff. So if you haven't left the North out and back by 8 p.m., we will ask you to no longer continue on the race. We also have a 4 a.m. Mothie Lake cutoff, so make sure that you're back and out the door before 4 a.m. And then in a final 9 a.m. 24-hour race cutoff. Just a reminder, 9 a.m. in 1 second isn't a 24-hour cutoff. 9 a.m. is the 24 cutoff. I know that I know that everybody is aware of that. I know that nobody, wants to be cut off with 1 second, but just keep in mind, we do have that 24-hour cutoff for the event. A couple of rules that I just wanted to mention here that are really, really important. First is checking in and checking out of each aid station. Because of the elements, because of the cold weather, we require that each of our athletes check in and check out each time they pass through an aid station. This allows us to make sure that we know exactly where people are on the course. And if you've been out there too long and we don't know where you're at, we'd hate to have to call 911 and get some emergency services in looking for you just because we didn't get you checked in. Again, just due to the nature of this event, it's just really, really, really important that we know where you're at any time. Second off is your crew. We love and encourage crew to be there. They can hang out by the fires of the aid stations. all night long if they want. And we love that. And we had that happen a lot of times. But just remember, you and your crew and us, everybody at the event, I like to say, should leave things better than how we found them. Or at the very, very least, leave them in the same manner. That means please don't litter. Please don't do donies in the lawns. Just let's be mindful. We're not the only ones out there. We share this trail with not just the state, but now that the Ice Age Trail is a national park related service, we share this with the entirety of the United States. And we are just so fortunate to have it right here in our backyard. And we do everything that we can. We donate money personally from the event. We're ambassadors of the Ice Age Trail, and we spend time volunteering there. So it's really important for myself, for the race, and for just the longevity of the event that we leave things as good or better and try to give back any time we can. Thirdly is our pacers. We did do a little bit of an update to our pacing this year. Again, that's just for peace of mind and to make sure that everybody has the safest and best experience ever. So, with that being said, you will be able to pick up a pacer at the nearest aid station after dusk. So please don't have your pacer coming out to meet you just because the sun's going down, before you got into Greenbush. Please make sure that they wait for you at Greenbush. As long as it's that dusk time, they can go out with you. So that is something that we heard a lot about last year. A lot of that feedback directly made it possible to make that change, and we really appreciate your feedback. Pacers, we do ask as you come in, you pick up your bib, you pull a pacer bib, and we get your pacer's name and phone number. Again, that's just for safety. If we don't know where you're at in the course, maybe because a check-in was forgotten or because you're just falling behind in that 24-hour pace, that is kind of our first line of defense, is calling your pacer, seeing if we can get a hold of you before or while we send people out and before those emergency services. Again, our aid station volunteers are great. They will call the emergency services if we have any feeling or indication that somebody out there needs help. And that's just for everybody's safety. Because again, the cold weather can really get to you very quickly on race day. And lastly, when it comes to the rules, just to reiterate, we don't have a mandatory gear list, but I encourage you to go ahead to our website, check out that gear list, and plan accordingly. This is a winter event. In past years, the weather can be relentless. It's starting to look like it'll be fairly mild again this year, but in past years, we've had those 0 temperatures. There's been feet of snow. We just need to make sure that everybody out there is safe. So just plan with worst case scenario in mind, and we hope for the best come event day. When it comes to the aid stations, there's a couple of things that you'll see at the aid stations. Not only will you see a fully stocked buffet with foods and hydration products, water, fire, noodles, pickle juice. Thank you for that feedback. Pickle juice, we're adding this year. But you also see something like this when it comes to the aid station. You'll see kind of that aid station name, the miles in the race, what aid station it is, the miles to the next aid station, either going out and back, and what those 24-hour paces look like. So you'll see all of those. Those will be on the tables, and our volunteers would be happy to give you any information or just kind of settle your mind when you're there. I'm a runner. I've been there before. I know what the pace cutoff looks like, and a lot of times you tell yourself, no, I'm not going to make it. But that's why we wanted to provide what that 24-hour pace looked like, just to help you mentally prepare that if you're before that 24-hour pace, you've got this and you can do it. So that's one thing to expect. And then, last but not least, one of the other suggestions that we had this year, changing up our end point. For anybody who ran the race last year, you noticed that there had been a change. We moved that end point from the Mothie Lake aid station area to kind of Mothie Lake start line area. That area was dark. It was cold. There wasn't a fire for any of your crew to stand around. So we've decided to change that back and pivot. We're going to be ending up by that Mothie Lake aid station. Just a lot of spectators were around there. A lot of crew were around there in general. and they had the fire. It had Matt doing his thing on the grill. So we just wanted to make sure that to try to keep spirits up, to try to form more community around that finish line, that we wanted to change that back and pivot. Again, all of these changes we did this year is because people last year in 2023 took the time out of their day to complete our survey, to provide us open and honest feedback, and we really took a lot of this and most of that feedback to heart to try to just make the event as good as possible. So there you have it. I think I kept this around a little bit over 10, 11 minutes. This is your edited down version of the athlete briefing. And I can't wait to see you at packet pickup, but more importantly, I can't wait to give you your medal at the finish line. So I'll see you all in January. Thank you.